private time machine, Stargate, one of the greatest secrets we don't know of, the pineal gland, the third eye, or what we call the epiphysis. It's a gland in the center of our brain. It's also known as the third eye. It's a gland that's activated by the light and controls the various biorhythms of our bodies. It works in harmony with the hypothalamic gland, which directs the body to thirst, hunger, desires, and its biological clock, which determines our aging process. But beyond the above, that is more or less known. It's important to know the following. The epiphysis is a high standard Stargate integrated into our human physiology. It allows us to travel through time. This kind of Stargate works with the use of plain daily water, H2O, that we drink. This is according to what this article says. When this is shielded away from all electromagnetic references in our existing three-dimensional space-time, 3 dimensions of space and 1 of time, then water can change, quote unquote, and create a connection that's made in an inverted reality of space-time, 3 dimensions of time and 1 dimension of space. When time-space is introduced, then there is access to 1 dimension of space, offering the ability to move within 3-dimensional time. In this kingdom, quote unquote, the movement back and forth through time can be achieved very easily, just like in the well-known to all of us space-time, where we have the ability to move easily through space. This activation is achieved through tiny molecules in the water in the epiphysis called microclusters, and these small clusters are represented in plutonium solid geometry shapes. They're also a resounding gateway that allows the passage of space-time. When the microclusters catch fire with the help of Kundalini, when it is activated, then this conical gland, the epiphysis, turns into Stargate technology and access to space-time is possible, according to what the writer says here. Kundalini activation is the balancing of all the energy chakras of the center within the human body that will eventually allow the activation of the epiphysis. And this activation is felt as a ringing, buzzing, or pressure inside the head. During this process, a series of complex electromagnetic intersecting rings of energy rotate around the water inside the gland that forces it to pass through the time-space gate. There, your access to linear time can be directed to some extent by your conscious focus. Important notes: the conical gland secretes melatonin during periods of relaxation and visualization. During the night, melatonin levels are high. During the day, the levels are low. For this reason, melatonin is believed to affect the body's circadian rhythms of wakefulness and sleep. When we reach adolescence, melatonin production is reduced. The retinal clock produces or stimulates the production of melatonin. Scientists are now looking for the exact location or locations of this watch in the human eye, and no one still knows what's special about this watch or clock. This is the image of a crop circle that shows the compounds of melatonin. On July 23, 2011, a glyph, a crop circle representing the basic chemical composition of melatonin. What do you think may be the message of this crop circle, and how is it related to melatonin? And how does all this relate to aliens, the extraterrestrials that supposedly made this crop circle, with the ability of the epiphysis to travel in space-time? This is strange. Now, also keep in mind that this technology, quote-unquote, that the ability of the epiphysis, the pineal gland, to function as a Stargate has already been reversed by ancient Atlantean, reached by ancient Atlantean society. So the Atlanteans, we know, had the ability to travel, interstellar travel. They also had the ability to go interdimensional travel. And from the, I have a playlist of this, of the Emerald Tablets written by Thoth the Atlantean. He claims that they had such advanced technology they weren't supposed to be using. They were using it to the detriment of mankind. He says it was a matter of divine intervention in time before they were put an end to. But the epiphysis, the pineal gland, one of the greatest secrets mankind should know of, but does not. There's a small part of our brain, the epiphysis, as we said, the cone, because of the cone-shaped, it's tiny, this tiny endocrine gland is responsible for producing melatonin, a secondary serotonin that's involved in hormones that control our sleep, wakefulness, and seasonal function. Do you know what the epiphysis is called in popular terms? It's also called the third eye. The location of the third eye is close to the center of the brain between the two hemispheres. Its location is said to be responsible for the fact that our epiphysis hides information. If we know them, we would be fully aware of our secret abilities and higher needs. And did you know that the epiphysis, the pineal gland, is basically a link between the physical and spiritual world? Yes, once the epiphysis is activated, your life will change. You'll experience ecstasy, begin your spiritual journey. Amazing, right? But research shows that there is a key element that prevents us from realizing our third eye. The answer is sodium chloride. The epiphysis absorbs most of the salt we consume. What causes the epiphysis will shock you. It really inactivates your epiphysis and takes away from your spiritual journey. Research also showed that if we reduce salt intake, we can automatically activate or help activate the pineal gland, the epiphysis, the third eye. But in the modern world, there are other ways to activate the epiphysis. We have yoga, meditation. Other benefits are almost unknown to many. It may be difficult with salt consumption, but activating the epiphysis or third eye is worth it. It really changes the way you see the world, it says here. So what happens when the third eye opens without waiting for it? To most people, the third eye remains closed and the significant energy associated with it is not available. But what happens when it is opened? According to researchers, the third eye, located in the middle of our forehead, about 2 centimeters above the eyebrows, is a secret invisible eye, the third eye, what we say, connected to an energy center. To most people, this eye remains closed and the significant energy associated with it is not available. But what happens when it is opened? For occultists, the third eye is the shape of an egg. In cosmology, it's often referred to as a cosmic egg, quote unquote, which is described as the source of all creation. And when activated, it is said that the extraordinary power of the third eye is capable of transporting us or even creating a whole new world. And according to Hindu tradition, the third eye is associated with the sixth chakra or energy center. It's often referred to as the gate of the soul. And when activated, it's said that it can charge other spheres of Tinandu with immense knowledge and wisdom. In addition, after opening, the third eye provides the ability to telepathically communicate with others and can see the spirits of the dead and even receive instant messages from higher beings. There are 5 signs and symptoms that indicate the spontaneous opening of the third eye. 1, dramatic changes of the senses. When the third eye suddenly opens, it's impacted on all the other senses. Colors can look brighter or bigger. You may notice strange or unexpected smells, and the taste of familiar foods may seem similar yet significantly different. New sounds can be heard, and the sense of touch looks different. This experience may seem hallucinatory to some. 2, the dreams become more vivid, more intense, and strange. When the third eye opens in the dream, you become more receptive to receiving messages from the highest levels. In the dreamer's mind, which was the third eye's dechis, the messages are mixed with normal dreams and can cause a chaotic and contradictory experience that can have profound effects on sleep. It's not uncommon for someone who is faced with such things to take medication to achieve more restful sleep. However, this can lead to the closing of the third eye again. 3, headache and tension. Those who spontaneously open the third eye will feel a headache. This can be attributed to the change in energy flow through the chakras. If it's not balanced, the passage of energy through the body can be disrupted. 4, deviation from reality. Well, that's not good. The human mind, without the influence of the third eye open, is used to experiencing the world in certain ways. It creates a sense of grounding in a common reality. And when the third eye is accidentally open, reality is strongly influenced, being aware of other designs of reality. There's usually a sense of attachment, as there is a sense that nothing is real and that everything is like deception. 5. Termination of relations. By opening the third eye, a remarkable ability to discover the truth is achieved. As a result, the true nature of relationships can become known, and previously strong relationships can suddenly come to an end because the truth is revealed. Can you imagine? I'm sorry. Dissatisfaction becomes more obvious, and the small daily frustrations become unbearable. Therefore, interpersonal relationships can have a dramatic end with the random opening of the third eye. All right, okay. That's the end of this, and I hope you benefited by this third eye pineal gland thing. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.